Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, November 11th, reveal that Ned Quartermaine will be rushed to GH after Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake face some horror. Nathan West may also get his alternate Bobby chance soon, so let's talk about what's coming up in Port Charles. For starters, Elizabeth Baldwin will be uneasy, so it looks like that'll be her response to Lucas Jones' Windermere move-in decision. Lucas will talk about a threat he's willing to take, so Liz will hope he knows what he's getting himself into. Over with Charlotte Cassadine, she'll tell Rocco Falconeri and Danny Morgan that her plan's going to need all three of them if it's going to work. Charlotte will still be hoping to get her hands on Britt Westbourne's crucial fob, but she'll need Danny and Rocco to pitch in as the plot moves forward. At Bobby's, Gio will continue to map with Emma and contend there'll be no turning back. Formally, the crucial fob is in their possession. Still, Emma and Gio are on the verge of making a shocking discovery that'll leave them in horror and throw off their plans for a bit. It looks like Gio and Emma will be the bones to find Ned Quartermaine, who putatively just had a heart attack and collapsed after his fight with Drew Kane. Emma and Gio will presumably call 911. So Ned will be rushed to GH for treatment ASAP. Lulu Spencer will spend some time passing in Olivia Quartermaine on Tuesday's show, but they may be intruded by some terrible news about Ned's hospitalization. In the meantime, Dante Falconeri will talk about demanding all hands on Sundeck at the PCPD since Anna Devane is out of the picture right now. Nathan West will be present for this discussion, so could this lead to the alternate Bobby chance he's been looking for? Maybe Nathan will be allowed to come back on the force since the PCPD's in extremity mode. As for Harrison Chase, he'll defend his sweats to clear Willow Tate's name during his discussion with Brooklyn Quartermaine. Chase will make it clear that he'd do it all again under the circumstances, but some updates on Ned's exigency may eventually ail this discussion, too. Across city, Michael Corinthos will assure Nina Reeves that by the time the visit hail rolls around, Willow Tate will be locked up for good. It turns out Michael's going to make a stunning move on Tuesday's show, so it could lead to a reversal for Willow and potentially block the release she's hoping for. Away, Britt will find herself reeling, so she might catch a regard of Pascal now that he's back in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers say Britt has some tense moments ahead of her, so stay tuned to see if those will involve a Pascal sweepstakes. The air in Port Charles is thick with a potent cocktail of hope and dread. As Tuesday, November 11th, unfolds, the lives of the city's most prominent families are set on a collision course, where a single, shocking discovery will send ripples through the entire community. What begins with quiet moments of reflection and clandestine scheming will quickly descend into a maelstrom of medical emergencies, angry threats, and game-changing maneuvers. This is a day where plans will shatter, loyalties will be tested, and the future of countless lives will hang in the balance. Windermere's new resident, a calculated risk or a terrible mistake? The imposing silhouette of Windermere, the Cassadine mansion on Spoon Island, has always been a place of dark secrets and darker deeds. Now, it's about to become a refuge, a decision that has Elizabeth Baldwin grappling with a profound sense of unease. Her conversation with Lucas Jones isn't just a casual chat between friends, it's an intervention born of deep concern. Liz, who has navigated her own share of Port Charles chaos, sees the shadows that cling to the ancient estate. She knows the history, the curse that seems to loom over the Cassadine name, and the recent, volatile presence of Valentine Cassadine. Lucas, however, stands firm. His declaration, "It's a risk I'm willing to take," is less a statement of bravado and more one of desperate necessity. He's trying to build a stable life for himself and his son, Rocco. And perhaps he believes that confronting the past head-on at Windermere is the only way to secure a future. He might argue that he's reclaiming a part of his son's heritage, or simply that he has nowhere else to go that feels as fortified against the outside world. Elizabeth listens, her nurse's intuition screaming in silence. She hopes against hope that Lucas truly knows what he's getting into, that the Gothic walls of Windermere won't become a gilded cage or, worse, a trap. Her fear isn't for the structure itself, but for the psychological toll it may take on a man already scarred by loss and family drama. She can only watch and wait, praying his gamble doesn't cost him his peace of mind, or more. The youthful conspirators, Charlotte's grand design. Meanwhile, the next generation of Port Charles schemers is already in session. Charlotte Cassadine, a child with the cunning of her Cassadine lineage and the trauma of her mother Lulu's condition, is masterminding a plan with a very specific goal. Her conversation with Rocco Falconeri and Danny Morgan is that of a general briefing her junior officers. "My plan's going to need all three of us if it's going to work," she states, her tone leaving no room for debate. "This isn't a childhood game of cops and robbers, this is a calculated mission." The objective remains Britt Westbourne's key fob, a seemingly innocuous piece of technology that represents access, secrets, and for Charlotte, a tangible piece of power and control in a world that has felt utterly chaotic. She understands she cannot act alone. She needs Rocco's inherent goodness to provide a moral shield and Danny's earnest desire to help to provide the muscle. She is manipulating them, not out of malice, but out of a desperate, childlike belief that if she can just fix this one thing, if she can get that key and uncover whatever she believes Britt is hiding, then perhaps her fractured world can be glued back together. She doesn't see the danger, she only sees the puzzle, and she's willing to enlist her cousins in a scheme that could have unforeseen and devastating consequences. Bobby's, a point of no return. The planning continues in a more mature, yet equally tense, setting at Bobby's. Here, Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake are deep in their own strategy session, their lives already intertwined with the younger trio's plot. Gio, with the intensity of someone who has already burned his bridges, lays out the stakes for Emma. He insists, with a grim finality, that there'll be no turning back once the key fob is in our possession. This statement is a heavy weight in the room. For Gio, this mission is about more than just a key, it's about purpose, about proving himself, and perhaps about impressing Emma. He's trying to project an image of a committed revolutionary, ready to face any consequence. He wants Emma to understand that they are crossing a Rubicon. From the moment they succeed, their lives will be irrevocably changed. They will be active participants in a conspiracy, not just bystanders. Emma, the more pragmatic and cautious of the two, likely feels the gravity of his words. She's caught between her affection for Gio, her own curiosity, and the nagging voice in her head that warns of the precipice they're approaching. Their partnership is about to be tested not by success, but by a horrifying discovery that will make their plans for the key fob seem trivial. A collapse and a crisis, Ned's fateful hour. The tension brewing between Drew Kane and Ned Quartermaine has been a slow-burning fuse, and on Tuesday, it reaches the powder keg. Their argument, likely a brutal culmination of their corporate and personal war over ELQ and their fractured family dynamics, reaches a fever pitch. Words are exchanged that can never be taken back, accusations about loyalty, family, and the legacy of Edward Quartermaine. The emotional and physical stress proves too much for Ned. In the aftermath of the confrontation, as the adrenaline fades, a searing pain erupts in his chest. The world tilts, sounds become muffled, and the formidable Ned Quartermaine collapses, a victim of what appears to be a severe heart attack. It is in this vulnerable, lifeless state that Gio and Emma find him. Their mission for the key fob is instantly forgotten, replaced by the visceral horror of the moment. The shock is absolute, freezing them in place for a crucial second before their training and instincts kick in. They are the ones who frantically call 911, their voices trembling as they report a man down, a life hanging in the balance. The wail of the ambulance siren becomes the soundtrack to their derailed plans, a stark reminder that real-life crises trump all teenage schemes. Ned is rushed to General Hospital, the very institution his family has supported for generations, now tasked with saving his life. The news spreads through the hospital corridors like a virus, a wave of panic and disbelief. This emergency is about to become the axis upon which the entire day turns for the Quartermaine family and everyone connected to them. Family in turmoil, the Quartermaines rally and fracture. At the Quartermaine mansion, or perhaps over a quiet cup of coffee at Kelly's, Lulu Spencer finds a moment of solace with her aunt, Olivia Quartermaine. Lulu, forever haunted by her mother's legacy and her own comatose state, is confiding in Olivia, seeking the maternal wisdom and stability she so desperately craves. They speak of healing, of family, of the small steps forward. But this fragile peace is shattered when the phone rings. The news of Ned's hospitalization is a physical blow to Olivia. Her husband, the rock of her often chaotic world, is fighting for his life. The scene immediately shifts from one of quiet confidence to one of frantic fear, as Olivia and Lulu rush to GH, their hearts in their throats. The news also reaches other corners of the Quartermaine orbit. Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermaine are in the middle of their own heated discussion. Chase, ever the White Knight, is vehemently defending his efforts to clear Willow Tate's name. To Brooklyn, his actions may seem like a foolish risk, a jeopardizing of his career for a woman whose legal situation appears dire. But Chase's stance is unshakable. "I'd do it all again," he insists, his moral compass unwavering. He believes in Willow's innocence with every fiber of his being, and for him, that belief is worth any professional consequence. However, their debate is abruptly cut short. The updates on Ned's condition cut through their personal drama, forcing a temporary truce. Family crisis, especially one of this magnitude, has a way of recalibrating priorities, reminding everyone that some battles are bigger than others. The PCPD, a department in distress. With Commissioner Anna Devane officially out of the picture. A situation ripe with its own mystery and danger, the Port Charles Police Department is a ship without its captain. Dante Falconeri, shouldering the immense burden of leadership, gathers what forces he has. He speaks of the need for all hands on deck, a phrase that underscores the department's desperate situation. They are facing threats from all sides, from Peter August's lingering network to general city unrest, and now without their most seasoned investigator. It is in this environment of crisis that Nathan West sees a glimmer of hope. Present for Dante's briefing, Nathan hears the plea for help not as a general statement, but as a personal opportunity. This could be the second cop chance he's been praying for. His career has been marred by setbacks and mistakes, but his core desire to serve and protect has never faded. Dante, pragmatic and in dire need of reliable personnel, may have no choice but to reinstate Nathan, even if on a provisional basis. The city's safety is on the line, and a seasoned, if flawed, officer is better than none at all. This potential reinstatement isn't just a job offer, it's a chance for Nathan to reclaim his identity and prove his redemption is real. A son's wrath, Michael's chilling vow. While the Quartermaines panic and the PCPD scrambles, Michael Corinthos is plotting a different kind of strategy, one of cold, calculated vengeance. In a conversation with Nina Reeves, he delivers a line that is as much a promise as it is a threat. He assures her that by the time the visitation hearing rolls around, Willow Tate will be locked up for good. This isn't the impulsive anger of a jilted lover, this is the chilling, premeditated resolve of a Corinthos heir who has been pushed too far. Michael's love for his son, Wiley, is the central force of his life, and he perceives Willow, and by extension, Nina, as the greatest threat to his child's well-being and his own custody. His stunning move is likely a legal masterstroke designed to completely sabotage Willow's chances of release or exoneration. He might be leveraging his family's immense wealth and influence to bring new, damning evidence to the DA's attention, or perhaps he's manipulating the situation to make any plea deal for Willow vanish. He is not just trying to win, he is trying to annihilate his opposition. This move promises to create a devastating setback for Willow, potentially dashing the fragile hope she and her supporters, like Chase, have been clinging to. Michael is playing a brutal game of chess with Willow's freedom, and he has no intention of losing. Britt's reeling world, the ghost returns. For Britt Westbourne, the day brings a different kind of terror, one that is deeply personal and psychologically shattering. The spoilers indicate she finds herself reeling, and the most likely cause is the re-emergence of a ghost from her past, Pascal. His return to Port Charles is a waking nightmare for Britt. Pascal is not just an old flame or a casual acquaintance, he is a living, breathing manifestation of her most traumatic experiences, her struggles with Huntington's, her time away from Port Charles, and a period of her life she has tried desperately to bury. Catching a glimpse of him, whether across a crowded street or reflected in a window, would be enough to send her world spinning. Her tense moments ahead undoubtedly point toward an inevitable, and undoubtedly explosive, confrontation. What does Pascal want? Is he back for money, for revenge, or to drag Britt back into a life she fought to escape? A face-off with him is not just an argument, it's a battle for her very soul and the new identity she has painstakingly built for herself at GH. The strength and resilience she has shown in the face of her genetic fate will be tested against the demons of her past. Conclusion: the calm before the storm has passed. Tuesday, November 11th, in Port Charles is a testament to the fact that no plan survives first contact with reality. The baptism of new beginnings, Lucas at Windermere, Nathan's potential second chance, is immediately tempered by the angry threats and dire emergencies that define life in this city. The youthful scheming of Charlotte, Rocco, and Danny is happening in the shadow of a much larger, adult crisis. The discovery of Ned Quartermaine, felled and helpless, acts as a grim reset button for countless storylines. As doctors fight to save Ned at GH, his family gathers in terrified vigil, Michael sharpens his knives for a legal kill, and Britt braces for a psychological war. The people of Port Charles are reminded that their lives are perpetually balanced on a knife's edge. The encouraging words shared between loved ones are now a defense against the angry threats being whispered in the shadows. The baptism is over, the real battle for survival has just begun.